in the sea.
When you pull the pencil truck out, do you want me to put our car on the street? And then maybe I could park in front of the trailer.
All right, so we got the moving truck. It's here along with our car dolly. I'm really skeptical if this thing is gonna fit or not. So it's got a carrying capacity of 5,000. That's about what the Yukon weighs. So I guess as long as we can fit it on there. I could also measure the wheelbases and stuff and just make sure before we try to pull it on. I think it's gonna be long enough. I think what's gonna be sketchy is if it's wide enough. I can measure that real quick, pretty easy, and I'll do that in a minute. We're gonna pull the car out of the driveway. I'm gonna back this truck up.
Good, straighten out.
Starting to realize this is a big truck. We were wondering if we're going to be able to fill this thing, like if we got too big of a truck, but I bet we pack it in there. I bet we have way more stuff to move than we think we do. I'm kind of looking at the garage, and like all of this stuff here is trash, and all of this stuff over here is really only like a small percentage of what we need to move. So, well, maybe like 25%. So today we're gonna make a dump run. I'm gonna pack up all this trash and things we have upstairs and like our couch and whatnot. And we're gonna take it down to the dump here in a little bit. And tomorrow's packing day. I had to break in my new work gloves today. I picked these up the other day from Home Depot. Usually I get the mechanics gloves, and I have a pair of my mechanics gloves that I normally wear, and I like those a whole lot. Down in the description of this video on our Amazon list, if you're looking for a good pair of work gloves, those mechanics gloves are awesome. But my last pair, they're getting kind of old, and I ended up getting roof cement all over them whenever I was doing the roof repairs. And so I needed to go pick up a new pair, and I ran to Home Depot just because I didn't have time to wait for Amazon. They didn't have the mechanics gloves. They had these firm grip ones. And they seem pretty nice. We'll see how they wear in. All right, now we got to load up all of this trash pile and go comb through the house of all the things that we need to get rid of. I have a feeling that it's going to be a lot. Or at least I'm hoping that it's a lot, because the more we throw away, the less we have to move with. My goal is that I don't want to have to, when we get to Texas, I don't want to be unloading things and be like, oh yeah, that's going to go over to the corner, it just needs to be stored. Because I hate that. I hate things that just, oh, it's just storage. If it's not something that I have a direct need for, let's just get rid of it. I don't need it. Let's purge everything. 2 poker sets. I have 2 poker sets. Why? No clue. I don't play poker. That was fun. All right, that went pretty smoothly. Got everything in there along with the extra paint cans and stuff. Next thing is the side of this house. This has been my catch-all for outdoor stuff, chicken netting, wood scraps, pallets, all that stuff. So I'm gonna not put the burden on the new owners for that stuff. I'm gonna pile it all in for the junkyard. As I'm working to get all these pieces of wood out here into the truck, got me to thinking about what I used each of these pieces for, the projects that we accomplished here at this house over the past. We've lived here for 3 years, and kind of what we've accomplished over the years. Now all this wood wasn't just sitting on the side of the house because I was gonna do something with it. It was because I did something with it and I was saving it for the next project. I've reused this stuff a lot. Like all of these plywood pieces back here, and down here is what I used whenever we had our pig in the backyard. I'd taken the bottom half of our playhouse that we had back there. It had like the open bottom and it had the little house up on top. Well, I enclosed the bottom piece of it and then used these long plywood pieces to run and enclose where the swing area was, because we didn't have a kid at the time that was big enough to be able to go out there and play. So we just enclosed that entire area with the plywood and fencing and whatnot, and we raised our pig back there. After the pig was done, I broke down everything and we ended up taking down that playhouse to give us more room in the backyard for the dogs and for our next big project, which was meat chickens in a chicken tractor moved daily in a backyard. So we set aside, I think it was about 50 feet. It was 50 foot by like 60 foot of area in our backyard that was going to become our chicken, our pastured poultry paddock area. So I built a big chicken tractor, and I used some of this stuff, some of these 2x4s here. But the majority of that chicken tractor I ended up selling to someone else around here. But for the brooder, for all those the 35 meat chickens that we had, I set it up right here in the corner of the garage with these pieces of plywood and just made a little rectangle for them. And that was our chick brooder for a couple weeks before we got them out to the backyard. And that was a great system. But it's just kind of interesting to, whenever you're loading everything up here, to reminisce about the different things that you've done with these pieces of material. Those pallets back there, I got 3 of them. That was our compost bin. We had a compost bin set off in the backyard right next to our garden, right next to the meat chickens, so we could toss things over. It was a great setup and a great experience, and great first experience diving into all of this homesteading, sustainable agricultural style raising animals. So as I said, every piece of wood on the side of my house was not unused. Everything over there I used for a project, and it was sitting over there because I was gonna use it again. If you're wondering what I used that 6x4 piece of lumber for, I didn't. That's the one thing on the side of the house that I did not use for anything. I got it for free. Most of this wood I got for free. I really didn't purchase very much wood at all for any of the projects. But I got that piece of lumber for free, and I was gonna use it for something, I didn't know what. And then I was gonna sell it to somebody else, and no one ever wanted it. And I never got around to doing anything with it. That thing's heavy. All right, so we're ready. Got everything loaded into all the dump run stuff loaded into the Penske. My buddy Steve is here to help us. Help me load up the couch, and last couple things we're gonna run down to the dump and get rid of this crap. Oh man, dude, this truck is so old. I'm trying to find a good place to set this, but there's not one. All right, so we're in here. I'm trying to get things set up to, like, you know, where it's semi-comfortable, and the seat is leaned forward like it's almost at an acute angle, like almost by an inch. So I'm sitting forward, and it doesn't lean back anymore. Like, it's got a little knob down here to turn, and it just doesn't turn back anymore. And this is gonna be a rough ride for the 40 hours it's gonna take us to get to Texas. It's gonna suck. Yeah. I could lift it up if I needed to, but
telescope for legs and then
air ride seat. I mean, at least it is an air ride seat. Like, that's cool and all, but all All right, so you can like air bubble the lumbar, but I mean that's also pretty uncomfortable. This is gonna be rough.
Yeah.
All right, we're at the dump now, ready to get rid of this stuff. All right, that job's done. Let's get back home. All right, back home. All good. I think the only thing we need to do today, the rest of the day, is I want to get my bike pulled up in there. And then really.
In the truck?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I think that's really it. I want to get the washer and dryer in there later tonight, but I'm gonna do that like later tonight after Bailey's done washing stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this bike loaded up. We're gonna film it just in case we have to send it to AFV. Oh, this could turn out so bad. It's all about, see, you're going up though, so you gotta gas it.
Yeah.
But then I'm going downhill.
Yeah.
You gotta hit the brakes.
Yeah.
That's what's scary.
Yeah, and bottoming out on the crest.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. Oh man, I just got really nervous. Oh, it's like whenever I start to contemplate all of my motorcycle skill.
Yeah. We don't want to do stupid things.
All right, we decided to be a little bit smart. I'm gonna pull the truck since my driveway is sloped. So like going up this ramp is fairly steep. But then as soon as you crest into the truck, it's like down. So we're gonna pull the truck forward a little bit and maybe we can smooth this out a little bit. But I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm terrified right now. I'm questioning all of my motorcycle agility skills. I've pulled a bike into a trailer like this, but I was on a much smaller bike. This is a very big bike. I'm less scared now. We leveled it out pretty good. There's less of a crest, so I don't have to bottom out the bottom of the bike. This could be interesting, I don't know. I'm still scared. Yeah, I got bar straps. That one that was in there is one of them. Okay, that was a lot. That was anticlimactic, I know, but I was terrified. It was a lot easier pulling the truck forward, on the nerves at least. All right, we got that guy all strapped down. I'm gonna try to get some of these boxes and stuff that we've had piled up in the garage in here up around the bike, kind of, you know, hold it in place, and then we'll put the washer and dryer in. You know, the loading the truck 101 basics. Try to even out that weight. But anyways, I'm gonna get up here today, guys. That's kind of all we got going on today. Tomorrow is the big pack out day, and that'll be a lot of fun. See you guys later.